What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Martin, aka Level, here, back today with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing the BTS Universe series. As you know, I go to see BTS in Arlington next week, day 2, and there's some videos that we definitely need to get done, or I'd like to get done, leading up to me going to the concert. And that includes the BTS Universe, as well as the explained video by XLess, which all you guys highly recommended. And we are here with the next video into the series, which is actually BTS Euphoria, a video that we've already reacted to in the past. However, at that time, we were just reacting to the song. Now we're going to be connecting it this time to the BTS Universe. So I'm pretty excited to see what things I missed and what things I can connect to my theory that I've already kind of came up with. So let's not waste no more time. Let's get right into it, folks. Do me a big favor. Go ahead and hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, as all these things help with the channel moving forward. And without any further ado, BTS Euphoria, let's get into it. I literally have not, I mean, I've watched the music video tons of times, but I haven't rewatched it ever since starting the BTS universe. So now it'll be interesting with my theory and everything I kind of know to see what I can catch now. It's like everything at this point we've already kind of gone through. It's like recalling back to everything. There's the iconic window and flower. It's Yoongi in it. And JK. Jim and J-Hope. I don't think I've ever paid attention that J-Hope was in the room with them there. So kind of right there, we know that Jimin, I just want to say real quick, we know that Jimin is in here because of like, he's dealing with like what feels like mental health issues a little bit. We know that he has been in like a psych ward before in the past. We've kind of seen it, or at least came to that conclusion or theory in the past. And this kind of shot right here of him running is him obviously by himself. Everybody at some point was kind of on their own. It felt like they were away from each other, separated at times, it would feel like. And so he lacks that strength, right? The strength that he needs in order to escape or get free of what feels like probably this prison or feeling trapped. And with the boys, he has that strength. He has that support system to have that courage to actually leave. And this was all pretty much the help that he needs. Everything, like I said, gets better when they're together. And he actually, while running, starts to take off his clothes, all the hospital gown and stuff that he is in. He starts to take all that off. Now, towards the beginning of everything, at the beginning, we'll go over that after the video. But I kind of just wanted to point that out. We kind of recognized that the first time we watched it. But like I said, at the time, I actually didn't know what was going on. And so you kind of can make a connection now, at least, or at least a theory, a better educated guess.
Euphoria.
I absolutely love this song, and I love this music video.
Euphoria. Take my hands now. You are the cause of my euphoria.
Okay, right off the bat, y'all remember when V first did his incident and like killed his dad or like stabbed him and then left? And then he's at that like abandoned little like area or whatever, and the boys come to him, he's laying on the mattress. Now this makes more sense. I gotta hit it. This makes more sense now. Again, I haven't seen it since before I started the Bangtan universe. And there's the direct connection to that moment, right? When everything was bad, remember, at probably its worst, the climax of this story so far of what it feels like, only it feels like it's getting worse and worse as time goes on. But at least the climax for V, where he hurt his dad, the situation with his sister is like, who God knows what right now. His life is pretty much in shambles, and he's run away. And he's laying on that mattress, and I believe it is Namjoon who picks him up at that time as well. Now, you connect that to this scenario. Again, at this moment where they're picking him up, if you think about what's happened previously, it's kind of still in shambles the way it was at that time. And at that time when they picked him up, everything gets better, right? You think at that moment like it's like a temporary healing, right? It's not permanent. There's a difference now between them picking him up now as opposed to picking him up then, where everything's good for the moment because they're all together, take his mind off of things, make him smile, happy. Here it's more vibrant. It feels more permanent. We'll see moving forward, but it feels like more true happiness. Whereas especially in that previous clip, it's a lot more dull colors still. Even though they are together, they're having a blast, having fun. The colors are still dull. The vibe is still darker, even with the smiles and brighter mood that is shifted in V at that moment. And there's pairings that we've connected multiple times throughout the music videos or the videos in general. And so again, Namjoon picking him up at that time, I believe, I might need to go fact check that. And then Namjoon picking up now, and the difference, the vibrancy, the color, the mood change, same situation, but different moods. It feels like definitely now. I gotta pause it again. And again, that pairing, we gotta bring it up. I'm gonna pause when I can and stuff just to kind of catch stuff. Yoongi and JK. We saw in the window what looked like JK. Again, I'm gonna fact check it. JK saving Yoongi from that room of fire. That pairing, we've seen JK and Yoongi constantly in the past. In the last video we watched, JK, he is reminded of Yoongi and the times that they spent at that piano, or just by watching that girl play, and he saw like the guitar and stuff like that. He instantly is reminded of the person that he's partnered with, at least in this universe. See J-Hope and Jimin, we'll see that later, but Yoongi, JK paired off here. We see JK save him. We see the memories of them always constantly So it's interesting when JK's standing here, the first person that gets partnered with him next beside him is the homie Yoongi.
아픈 너의 눈빛이 나와 같은 곳을 보는 걸 When you please stay in dreams yeah. 저기 멀리서 바다가 들려 꿈을 건너서 숲을 너머로 선명해지는 그곳으로 가 Take my hands now You are the cause of my euphoria
The truck that they are iconically at all the time, especially in that like photo that Jin has where it's constantly going in and out, in and out. We see them together. Everything feels like it's kind of turning around for the good. I love this part, bro. It's so adorable. It's so much better. Sense of euphoria when we're all together. Dressed in the all white as well. Almost like they're pured. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been cleansed of all the negative, you know? It's like they're whole different beings, and just we see them in black a lot of the time. So to see them wear white, you get the sense that things are getting a little bit better. I have an idea right here. I'm probably wrong, but I have an idea. As we know, V is the one who jumps off the edge here, right? And I think, and I could be wrong here, I think and believe V has jumped in a previous time, right? I say a lot of the times I feel like Jin is the key to everything. He has gone back in time, he has fixed things, or at least attempted to try. And one of the reasons I feel like you can save someone, or one of the keys to saving someone, is to be in that person's shoe, right? A lot of people would tell you, like, walk a mile in my shoes. And I think we've all heard that reference before. You know, before you can judge me, or before you can, in Jin's case, save me, you have to understand what it was like to be in my shoes. You have to understand it from my point of view. We get to this moment right here. We see Jin. What better way for him to put himself in those shoes than to be in that position? Now, V looks curiously up at Jin, almost like this is familiar to him. Again, I do believe Do I think that Jin is going back in time and saving the boys? To a point, kind of, yes. Even though I know this isn't Marvel and like in games in multiple dimensions and stuff, but I do believe Jin is the key to fixing everything. And V looks up at Jin. He is the only one who looks puzzled or questioning or is kind of looking just up at Jin a little bit differently than the rest of the boys. And you can see that actually here in just a moment with Jin's camcorder. But V looks up at Jin almost like he's recognized or is familiar with this scene. The way he is looking, he has been here before. He is recognizing the situation and is realizing something I don't remember fully, but I've been here before. I've been in this situation before, only he is at a different point of view now. The same way that Jin is looking down at the boys here in just a moment from V's point of view, putting himself in those shoes, V is now in the situation of Jin, looking from the boys' perspective up at him. What it was like to see V from the outside going through what he's going through, the damage and hurt that it's put on them, and the effect it has on them, seeing him going through and fighting the challenges and battling these challenges, facing them head on, everything that this man has gone through the entirety of the series, seeing it now from Jin's point of view, the way Jin is now seeing it from V's point of view. We literally get the camera shot from Jin holding the camera from his POV down from what looks like what was originally V's point of view down to the boys. Because everybody is waving or excited except the homie V. He has that curious or questioned look on his face. Now we see the camera pan downwards and it goes into the water where we see this shot of V in the water. I think him jumping is like a metaphor or kind of just a symbolism for him facing the challenges head on, not being afraid or scared anymore, going to such great lengths and jumping without fear, again facing these challenges head on. However, when he gets into the water is when now he's faced the fear of taking on the challenge, but now going through that battle and the difficulty, especially when you're underwater, feeling of suffocation, feeling of drowning, you start to panic. Being underwater is quite scary if we're being real, especially for someone that doesn't know how to swim. And I'm not saying that's the case for him. It's just being like feeling trapped underwater. We panic. I think we've all kind of been in a situation like this before, and it is indeed scary. Now, what's interesting here is after we see V land in the water, we see it reverse in time. It then shows the homie Jin, and he kind of has a like what you would consider as like a eureka like feel. Like he smiles and it's almost like he understands now how to help V. He's now put himself into these shoes. He's seen the point of view from V. He has literally been in the same position as V has. The reversing of V coming out of the water, I believe, is Jin's way of being like, I have now feel like I understand and can help. Before I feel like you can help anybody, especially with somebody who's going through a situation, the wrong thing you can do is give advice, especially if you have no idea what it's like to even be in this position. It is easier said than done, but where it truly matters the most, or where it probably is the most effective, is if you have been in this situation yourself. And it literally starts exactly where it ends. So we go back here, we see V on this platform at the very top, jumping off, again, possibly facing those fears, taking on the challenge head on, not having fear. And then at the end where Jin has put himself in that position and is able now to fully understand what it was that V was going through at this time. Now we start to see a recap of what all the members have been to up to this point, and some of them have been able to be helped or at least been put in the right direction, whether it's either by Jin or another member of the group. We see Jimin later in the music video actually get kind of taken out of what feels like the mental hospital or wherever hospital he was admitted to. With the help of the boys, it looks like he's able to escape. Now, I also have a little theory on that later, so we'll have to get in that in just a moment. We see where J-Hope actually collapsed and where we see the boys were admitted at what at least looks like in the same hospital later into the music video, which is actually right here, right? So Jimin is now, look at the concerned look on his face with J-Hope having to leave. Maybe he's been discharged from the hospital. Maybe he's cured. Maybe he's just well enough that he can leave, but obviously maybe not cured. With J-Hope being discharged, he is now alone and by himself. And we're going to get back to Jimin here in just a minute. Again, I have a theory. I have two theories actually on what I think is actually taking place when Jimin is kind of like in the cafeteria area by himself. But it starts from this point here where J-Hope obviously is having to leave. And look at the sadness, the heartbreak in my boy's eyes and face to see that the homie J-Hope is going to be leaving him. We literally see V's hands here covered in blood. Later, we actually see the homie V with his hands up with a bandage over it, showing that the healing process has already started to begun and or is starting to occur now as long as he has the boys with him. Again, the whole vibrancy, everything from the plants, you see the life, to the bandage, you see the healing. Everything is headed in the right direction now as long as they are together. Now, what's interesting here is I guess I've never paid attention to this, but Jin is holding the flower petals in his hand. Now, if you count closely, I believe there are 6 petals here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, what looks like possibly 5 and 6, or at least one hiding behind here. But I believe there are 6 petals here representing the 6 other members of the group. And the petals kind of being like a symbol of how delicate, especially the way he's holding it, almost like a baby, how their lives are so delicate and how they're in his hands. Their safety, their lives depend on Jin. He literally has the key and is the key to fix everything. Their life is literally in his hands. This window, I believe he is seeing from another different perspective, the same way he kind of saw V in the water earlier and was kind of breaking the fourth wall there to see everything from a different perspective, or even at the end when he is on top of the platform, he is seeing everything that is going on from the outside. Again, we see JK saving Yoongi here. I think this is after the guitar incident. After he saw the homegirl with the guitar and the letters that were on it and stuff, he is reminded of Yoongi, goes to probably check on him to find that everything is in shambles possibly, and has to save him, or at least is here during that time to save him. Again, that kind of buddy system that we see all the time, where it appears like all the members being together the same way with JK and Yoongi, we got Jimin and J-Hope. We have Jin and RM, and then we kind of have RM and V, or what feels like a lot of the times just V kind of on his own. Now, what's a little bit sad, and I'm going to be honest here, is I think the homie JK, and I hate to even think about this, but as we saw in the beginning of the music video, we see JK actually a recap of what he went through, everything he was going through. And I don't want to believe it, but I kind of think I have a theory here. This man is on top of a building, and I don't think, at first I was like, it looks like he's spreading his wings and it's like he wants to fly. This universe is so dark at times, and I hate to even come up with this theory, but a part of me also believes at the same time as him having his arms out, imagining he's like a butterfly or a bird and just wishes to fly and be free, that he's on top of a building to jump off. Almost like to commit suicide, if we're being completely honest. It's not till he closes his eyes and I think actually thinks about life and everything he's giving up that he realizes what he is giving up. The special bond and moments with his friends, and that's not worth jumping off. And in another universe, he probably did. At least that's the theory I'm coming up with. Again, I could be completely wrong, but because of maybe Jin or just him recapping the moments and special moments that he's had with the guys, it's not worth losing this life to jump. Now, with the homie Jimin here, I'm actually a little concerned. This is where my other theory comes into play. Now, we see the boys here with the homie Jimin, and he's, it looks like it was his birthday. They're here to celebrate. They're having a great time, being goofy, being silly. That Jimin in the next scene actually starts to take off his clothes. He starts to break free of this prison, it feels like, or at least this hospital. However, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think any of this is taking place at all. I think he's imagining this. I don't think this is actually happening, if we're being real. You're probably like, Martin, why would you think that? And it's almost the colors. See how we have this orange and kind of warm feeling here? It's the exact same colors we are seeing here. There's no bright whiteness to anything like you see in the hallway of this shooting. And you actually see a very black, dark pit in the background, almost like there's nothing here. Like he's imagining everything that's going on in this hallway. Like he wishes to break free. He can imagine breaking free, but it's not happening. This is all a dream and or imagination. This is not taking place for real. He is imagining that this is really happening when indeed this is the reality. This is what he's facing because no one's there. J-Hope has left him. The boys probably don't come and see him. And why I think this as well is, again, when we see this scene later in the music video, we see the warm colors. Again, no white and brightness and vibrancy that you see when he's running with all the boys in the hallway. We actually see him playing by himself majority of the time here. I think it's at this moment that he wishes. It probably is his birthday at this time. They're not here. Maybe they've forgotten. He's alone. That he then sits down and imagines what it would be like for them to be here on his birthday, or at least to just accompany him, just to come see him in this hospital. I'm not saying that he needs to fold his cards and give up. I definitely do think the homie will be saved. But at this time, where I thought originally he was being saved by the boys, I don't think that's true at this moment at all. We see the homie JK with his arms out exactly the way he was on top of the building, probably kind of remembering, right? Or a connection to where he was previously, maybe about to jump or at a point where he was low and wishing he could be free, to now to a point where he is more free than he was before, a little bit more saved than he had been in that darker place. Again, we get to this part of, is it actually happening? You know, so are we seeing all the boys here saved? It almost looks like I said, like they've been pured a little bit. They were all dressed in the black and stuff, and now they're on the white, almost as if they get a fresh new start to life. And who knows, that might be the case moving forward. It's all a little bit tricky. It's all a little bit questionable. And again, it's all just a theory. Again, we'll get to XLS and she will explain everything in a little bit more better detail. I know we have a few more videos to go, not too many before we get to her video, and we will be covering that video either before I leave on the vacation to go see the boys in Arlington, again, day 2, or that video will be posted at some time while I'm on vacation. So in the next week or two, we will be officially done, or maybe I can get it done before the end of the week. I'd like to get that so I can focus on other videos. But that's going to go to right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section, without spoiling, how you think I'm doing so far, what you think, and yeah, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. But that's going to go to right there. Again, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.